There's an attic above my garage that I've been meaning to clean out for 2 years. And every time I finally drag myself up there, I find something that stops me cold. An old tin of Bon Ami, a glass bottle with a cork stopper, a handwritten index card with instructions for something called a vinegar rinse. My grandmother's handwriting. People in the 1940s cleaned differently. Not just with different products. They thought differently about dirt, about waste, about making things last. They had to. The war years meant rationing. You couldn't just buy a new mop head or order a case of all-purpose spray. You worked with what you had, and somehow the things they built back then lasted decades. The houses they kept are still standing. The cast iron they scrubbed is still being cooked in. I want to show you 25 of those methods, not as a history lesson, as a genuine how-to. Bowl one. Salt and lemon for cutting boards. Before plastic, wooden cutting boards were everywhere. Cooks rubbed the surface with half a lemon dipped in coarse salt. The acid breaks down bacteria. The salt acts as a mild abrasive. It works better than most commercial sprays and leaves no chemical residue. Base. Boiling water for grease fires and pans. Not water thrown on fire, but filling a greasy pan with water and bringing it to a boil to lift stubborn baked on fat before washing. Cheaper and faster than soaking overnight. Why free? Newspaper for window glass. Before paper towels were standard, women used balled up newspaper to polish windows. The ink and texture leave glass streak-free in a way microfiber sometimes can't match. 4. What are 4? What are 4? Cornstarch for silver polish. Mix it with water to a thin paste. Rub gently, let dry, buff off. Silver comes back. No harsh chemicals pulling away the plating over time. 5. Borax and hot water for laundry pre-soak. Borax was the 1940s laundry booster. A half cup dissolved in a basin of hot water. Clothes soaked for 30 minutes before washing. Yellowed collars, grass stains. It handled things modern pods often leave behind. Vinegar rinse in the final wash cycle. Women added white vinegar to the rinse water. It strips soap residue from fabrics, softens cotton without chemicals, and keeps colors from dulling. Fabric softener wasn't invented until 1960. They didn't need it. Fluff. Baking soda for refrigerator odors. Yes, people still do this. But in the 1940s, an open box was placed on every shelf, not just one in the back corner. The surface area matters. One box absorbs almost nothing. 3 do. Alpha, Nate. Raw potato slices for rust on knives. The oxalic acid in potato flesh reacts with iron oxide. You press the cut side of a raw potato onto a rusted blade, leave it 20 minutes, and wipe. Not perfect for severe rust, but for light surface spots, it's remarkably effective. 9. Dry mustard powder for greasy pots. Mixed with a little water and used like a paste, dry mustard breaks down animal fat and oils in cast iron and enamel. It doesn't strip seasoning the way dish soap does. 10. Club soda for fabric stains. The carbonation lifts particles from fibers before they set. This is why club soda has been used on upholstery, tablecloths, and wool rugs for over 100 years. The fizzing action is doing real chemical work. 11. Turpentine and linseed oil for wood furniture. 3 parts linseed oil to 1 part turpentine, rubbed in with a cloth, left to absorb. This is what the Victorians used, what the 1940s housewife used, and what furniture restorers still use today when they want results that last. 12. Milk for ink stains. Fresh ink on fabric. Soak immediately in cold whole milk. The proteins bind with the ink before it oxidizes. It doesn't work on dried stains, but on fresh ones, it is shockingly effective. 13. Cream of tartar for aluminum pots. Aluminum cookware was ubiquitous in the 1940s. To bring back the shine and remove oxidation stains, women boiled water with cream of tartar inside the pot itself. 2 tablespoons, 1 quart of water, 15 minutes at a simmer. 14. Chalk dust for grease stains on silk. Silk and wool can't be scrubbed. Instead, chalk powder was patted onto the stain, left for several hours to absorb the oil, then brushed gently off. Cornstarch works the same way. Neither method is widely taught anymore. 15. Kerosene for removing adhesive, controlled amounts, applied carefully with a cloth. Kerosene dissolves old adhesive, tar, and gum from surfaces without the fumes or residue of modern commercial removers. Respect the ventilation requirements. This is not casual, but it works. 16. Salt for wine spills on carpet, or salt immediately, generously. It draws the liquid up and out of fibers before it can set into a stain. Club soda afterward lifts what's left. This two-step method was standard in every household and in every hotel kitchen in America. 17. Cold tea for wood floors. Steeped black tea, cooled, applied with a barely damp mop. The tannins clean and subtly deepen the color of hardwood. It's a cleaning method and a conditioning treatment in one step. 18. Washing soda for heavily soiled work clothes. Washing soda, sodium carbonate, is different from baking soda. It's more alkaline, more aggressive. Dissolved in hot water, it strips oil, grease, and deep soil from work fabric. Miners, mechanics, and factory workers' families swore by it. 19. Ammonia in water for oven cleaning. A cup of ammonia left in a cold oven overnight. No scrubbing. The fumes work on baked-on grease while you sleep. Wipe clean in the morning. This was standard before self-cleaning ovens existed, and it genuinely outperforms many commercial oven sprays on older buildup. Bug. 20. Beeswax for cast iron seasoning. Lard was the common choice, but beeswax was considered superior for tools that would see less regular cooking use. It bonds to the iron surface and resists moisture better than most oils over time. Plinic tea, Plinic 1, vinegar and salt for copper and brass. Make a paste, rub it in, let it sit 5 minutes, rinse clean. Every piece of copper cookware in a 1940s kitchen was maintained this way. No commercial cleaner performs better. A Fa 22. Glycerin for leather gloves and shoes. Rubbed in small amounts into dry leather, glycerin restores flexibility without cracking the surface. Women kept a bottle in the hall closet. A pair of good leather shoes could last a decade with this treatment. Dolly 3. Bread for oil paintings. Museum conservators still use soft white breadcrumbs to gently lift surface dust from oil paintings without touching the pigment layer. In the 1940s, this was household knowledge for anyone who owned art worth keeping. Father. Raw onion for barbecue grill grates. Cut an onion in half. Heat the grill. Rub the cut side across the grates on a long fork. The sulfur compounds in onion clean and naturally season the metal. No wire brush required. Farf 25. Lavender sachets in linen closets, not just for scent. Lavender genuinely repels moths and silverfish. Before mothballs became common, dried lavender between folded linens kept fabric intact through long storage. Mothballs leave chemical residue. Lavender does not. These methods weren't passed down because they were charming. They were passed down because they worked, and then at some point, we stopped passing them down at all. Somebody decided a new product was better, and the old knowledge quietly slipped away. It didn't have to. If any of these actually surprised you, try one this week. Just one. Then come back and tell me what happened. I read every comment in here, every single one.